Hello and a very warm welcome to each one of you. And today we are meeting after a couple of days after this festive season. I'm super thrilled to have each one of you in this session. And as we move forward, today we are stepping into part three of this book, which talks about the 7 days to shape your life. And this is going to be the most action driven, emotionally awakening part of this book. But before we step into this challenge, of 7 days, let me very quickly share with you कि अभी तक हमने क्या पढ़ा है. तो अभी तक जो हमने पढ़ा है इस बुक में वो पार्ट 1 था, पार्ट 2 था एंड पार्ट 3 था. ठीक है. पार्ट 1 was about unleashing your power. This part was all about self-awareness and awakening, realizing that the power to change your life lies within you. टोनी रॉबिन ने हमारे को बार बार रिमाइंड किया है कि the decisions shape our destiny, not conditions, not circumstances. The moment you decide to truly change, your story begins to shift. पार्ट 1 के जो की टेकअवेज थे, that was that decision is power. Every lasting change begins with a firm decision. आप लाइफ में कहीं पे भी कुछ भी करना चाहते हो, जब तक यू डू नॉट डिसाइड टू डू इट, it is impossible for you to reach there. Number 2 was belief system create reality. What you believe about yourself and the world determines how you act and what you attract. इसके बारे में था ये चैप्टर. It is said that whatever you believe about yourself, it turns out to be true. एंड उसी के हिसाब से वर्ल्ड डिटरमाइंस कि आपके साथ और आपको कैसे एक्ट एंड रिएक्ट करवाना है. देन वी रेड अबाउट पेन एंड प्लेजर ड्राइव एवरीथिंग. वी learned to link pain with disempowering habits and pleasure to the empowering habits. And इसके अंदर टोनी रॉबिन्स has given his own examples around that. ठीक है. And last but not the least, we understood that the change can happen in an instant. It does not take years to change. It takes a moment of true commitment. अगर एक सेंटेंस में बात की जाए तो पार्ट 1 helped us to awaken and to realize that we are not victims of our past but creators of our future. उसके बाद आया पार्ट नंबर 2 which was talking about taking control, the master system. Once we awaken, once awakened, Tony Robbins guides us to master your internal systems to run your life. और internal systems को उसने बोला है master systems. This system is what determines how you feel, what you do, and ultimately who you become. And इसके अंदर 5 key elements थे. Number 1 was values, उसके बाद beliefs थे, उसके बाद references थे, फिर identity थी, and then emotions. Values. What's most important to you in your life? Your values are your inner compass. If you don't know your true values, you will constantly feel conflicted or unfulfilled. For example, you may say that you value peace, but if your daily focus is on achievement, you will feel torn until your values align. पीस का मतलब पीस है, अचीवमेंट का मतलब तो टर्बुलेंस है. यू आर गोइंग टू डू, यू विल हैव टू टेक एक्शंस दैट माइट नॉट बी सो पीसफुल. यू विल हैव टू गेट इनटू an uncomfortable zone and to achieve something, and that is not equal to peace. So either your value is not there, value is not peace, or you need to change your daily focus. Both need to, what your values are and your actions are, they need to align for you to have a good life. Then number 2 was beliefs, the rules that decide how life should be. These rules decide what makes you feel good or bad. If your rules are too rigid, you will often feel upset. If they are empowering, you will live in harmony. For example, I am successful only when everyone approves of me is absolutely disempowering. And I am successful when I stay true to my values is very freeing. तो आपको decide करना है what are your rules, what are your should be list. Number 3 that we talked about was references. कहाँ से आते हैं? Experiences से, stories से, learning से that support your beliefs. The more empowering references you create, the stronger your confidence and resilience. And it is not important, references आपको कहीं और से भी मिल सकते हैं. It is not necessary that you accumulate all the references from your own life. हो सकता है आपने लाइफ में कहीं succeed ना किया हो, but when you try, when you know that you do not have empowering references, you take the references of other people, people who have been in the same story as you and have achieved in life. When you see such people, you gather references from that to have a better life. For example, every time you overcome fear, you build a reference that you are courageous, and this becomes the fabric of your identity. उसके बाद हमने बात करी थी आइडेंटिटी की. The most powerful force of human psychology. It is who you believe you are. You will always act in the alignment with your identity, even if it limits you. If you see yourself as a person, as I'm a shy person, your behavior will match that belief. But when you shift your identity to I'm a confident communicator, your actions start aligning automatically. तो आपको decide करना है कि what kind of identity do you want to portray in life? What is the kind of identity you want to create for yourself? And then you have to align your actions accordingly. If you stay the same, if you remain where you are right now, you will not get any better results than what you are living right now. If you want better results, if you have better expectations from your life, you will have to shift your identity. Last but not the least, emotions, the ultimate result of all the above. Your values, your beliefs, your references, and identity shape how you feel every single day. And your emotional state determines the quality of your life. Okay? This is what we have, this is what we have read so far. And वही अगर एक लाइन में sum up करूं पूरे part 2 को, तो if you want to change your life, we must not change our goals, we must reprogram our inner system. हमारे को understand करना है, awareness में लाना है, and we have to start shifting there. That is when outer success aligns with the inner peace. All right, so that was a small gist of what we have read so far. And now we are entering in the part 3 of this book, that is a 7 days challenge to shape our lives. This is where we take everything we have learned and apply it practically. One day, one emotion, and one shift at a time. Yeah. Let me very quickly start sharing the screen with you so that we can read it together. Part 3, the 7 days to shape your life. And इसके अंदर day 1 is about emotional destiny, the only true success. Your outcome. Take control of your consistent emotions and begin to consciously and deliberately reshape your daily experiences of life. There is no true success without emotional success. Yet, of the more than 3,000 emotions that we have words to describe, the average person experiences only about a dozen different ones in the course of an average week. We must remember that this does not reflect our emotional capacity, but rather the limitations of our present patterns of focus and physiology. Throughout this book, we have continually studied to master the emotions, and you have developed a broad spectrum of tools to powerfully and rapidly change any emotion you desire. You now realize that by changing how you feel is the motivation behind virtually all of your behaviors. Thus, it's time that you develop a proactive plan for dealing with the negative emotional patterns that you habitually experience. It's equally important to give yourself the gift of expanding the amount of quality of time that you spend in the positive emotional states. The arsenal of skills you have for changing your emotional states includes physiology, focus, questions, submodalities, transformational vocabulary, metaphors, neuroassociative conditioning, beliefs, compelling future, values, rules, references, and identity. The purpose of today's exercise is simply to make you aware of your present emotional patterns and get you to utilize as many of the above listed skills as necessary to guarantee that you shape your own emotional destiny daily. Seeing is believing, but feelings the truth. Today's assignment is to write down all the emotions that you experience in an average week. List the events and the situation you use to trigger these emotions. And number 3, come up with an antidote for each negative emotion and employ one of the appropriate tools for responding to this actual signal. Do you need to change the words you use to describe this experience? Do you need to change what you believe about this emotional state? Do you need to ask yourself a new question? Be sure to consistently focus on solution instead of problems. Commit throughout this day to replacing the old, limiting emotion with a new, empowering emotion, and condition this new pattern until it's consistent. With our emotions well in hand, we will begin tomorrow to master our physical destiny. So this is what the challenge is all about. Yes. So you got that, right? कि हमारे को check करना है what are the emotions that we are feeling every single day and उसके हिसाब से what do we need to do about it. दो तीन चीजें जो हमारे को इसके बारे में समझनी है and we have learned through the book as well is कि your emotions, your emotional home defines you. Every person has a set of emotions they feel most often. And that is their emotional home. Some people live in joy and gratitude, others in anxiety and frustration. And until you change your emotional home, no external achievement can bring lasting happiness. थोड़े टाइम के लिए happiness आ सकती है, but lasting happiness cannot happen. ठीक है? Two people can experience the same event. एक feel करता है rejected, but दूसरा feel करता है redirected. And that is how it is. The difference is in their emotional homes, not their circumstances. Number 2, we need to understand that emotions are signals, not enemies. Your emotions are not to be avoided because they are the messages from your mind and body. जो negative emotions हैं, like fear or anger, they are simply call to action, asking you to look closer, sometimes shift focus, or at times maybe to change the strategy. Okay? Maybe if you are feeling lonely, it is a signal to connect. If you are feeling angry, it is a signal that one of your rules or values are violated, and you must either change your perception or change your approach. Number 3 that we need to remember and understand is that emotion is equal to meaning. The emotions you experience depends on the meaning you give to things. Once you change the meaning, you instantly change the feeling. तेरे अगर एक बच्चा, if your child does not listen, you may feel disrespected or challenged, to lead with love. And one meaning drains your energy, and there can be another meaning that you can give to it that creates growth. आपको समझना है कि आपको डिसरिस्पेक्टेड फील कर रहा है, कि आपको यू हैव टू टेक इट एज अ चैलेंज कि इस टाइम पे भी मैं प्यार से कैसे लीड कर सकती हूँ. ऑलराइट. So that is emotion is equal to meaning. Whatever emotion you are feeling, understand that there is a meaning, there is a story that you have given to that situation. One more thing that we need to understand and remember is emotion shapes behavior. So it is said कि पहले thought आता है, thought से emotion create होता है, वो emotion जो होता है वो आपके behavior में आता है. People do not act based on facts. They act based on how they feel about those facts. Once you master your emotions, you master your life decisions. Agar, for example, if you're feeling confident, you speak up. When you feel unworthy, you hold yourself back. External situation हमेशा same रहती है. Facts are going to remain the facts. But how you are feeling, it is going to decide कि आप कैसे आपका behavior outside world में होता है. The inner emotion drives the choices that you make, whether to speak up or to hold back. So the three things that we are supposed to do today is understand what emotions dominates your daily life right now. What emotions would you like to experience more of? And number 3, how can you shift your focus, your language, your physiology to live in a new emotional state that you want to? This is your emotional blueprint. Top 3 emotions you feel most often, 3 emotions that you want to feel every day, and for each desired emotion, one simple action. ठीक है, वो लिखना है. That's it for today. That is your day number 1. And I would love for you to, sit with yourself at least 15-20 minutes today and write what exactly this needs to be and how. So the thing is, I always and I keep on reiterating and repeating it over and over again कि हम पढ़ लेंगे, but if we do not do the work, it is of no use. So हमको actually में अब action orientation start हो चुका है इस book में भी. So let's make sure that we keep up with the pace and we do all the challenges every single day. All right. That's it for today. God bless you. Take good care of yourself and lots and lots and lots of love. Bye-bye.